Good morning, all of you. Myself, Dr. Shobha Singh, Assistant Professor History, and the title of today's topic is Architecture of Sultanate Period. Art and architecture are true manifestations of the culture of a period as they reflect the mind and approach of that society. It is here that the ideas and technique of a society find visual expression. The advent of the Turkish rule in India is significant in more than one respect. The style of architecture that evolved during this time is known as Indo Islamic. The most important source for the study of architecture is the surviving remains of buildings themselves. There are few new structural forms. The first one is arch and dome. If we read the reports of Cunningham of archaeological sites and remains, we observe that the incidence of masonry buildings, including civilian housing in towns, increases significantly after the 13th century. This was primarily possible due to the use of lime mortar as the basic cementing material. The building of true arch required stones or bricks to be laid as viscers in the shape of a curve and bound together firmly by a good binding material. This binding material was lime mortar. The result of the introduction of the new technique was that the pre-Turkish forms like lintel and beam and corbelling were replaced by true arches and walls, and the spired roofs like shikhars were replaced by domes. Arches are made in a variety of shapes, but in India, the pointed form of the Islamic world was directly inherited. And sometime in second quarter of the 14th century, another variant of the pointed form, the four-centered arch, was introduced by the Tughlaqs in their buildings. It remained in vogue till the end of Sultanate. The pointed arch was adopted in the Islamic world quite early due to its durability and ease of construction. The usual method of raising a pointed arch was to erect a light centering and place one layer of bricks over it. This layer supported another thin layer of flat bricks over which radiating reservoir of the arch were fixed in mortar. These two bottom layers of brickwork would, if needed, act as permanent shuttering for the arches. But the construction of dome demanded special techniques. The problem was to find a suitable method for converting the square or rectangular top of walls of the room into a circular base for raising a spherical dome. The best way to overcome this problem was to convert the square plan into a polygon by the use of squinches across the corners. Building materials. In the masonry work, stone has been used abundantly. The foundations are mostly of rough and small rubble, or wherever it is available of river bounders, while the superstructure is of dressed stone or roughly shaped coarse stonework. The building were plastered all over. In the buildings of the Khilji period, a new method of stone masonry was used. This consisted of laying stones in two different courses, that is, headers and stretchers. This system was retained in subsequent buildings and became a characteristic of the building technique of Mughals. The material commonly used for plastering building was gypsum. Apparently, lime plaster was reserved for places that needed to be secured against the leakage of water, such as roofs, indigo vents, canals, drains, etc. In the later period, like around 15th century, when highly finished stucco work became common, gypsum mortar was preferred for plaster work on the walls and the ceilings. Then the next is in the architecture form decoration. Decorative art in the Islamic buildings served the purpose of concealing the superstructure behind motifs rather than revealing it. Since the depiction of living beings was generally frowned upon, The elements of decoration were in most cases limited to calligraphy, geometry, and foliation. Calligraphy is an important element of the decorative art in the buildings of this period. The Quranic sayings are inscribed on buildings in an angular, sober, and monumental script known as Kufi. They may be found in any part of the building, like frames of the doors, ceilings, wall panels, niches, etc., and in variety of materials such as stone, stucco, and painting. Geometric shapes in abstract form are used in these buildings in a bewildering variety of combinations. The motifs indicate incorporation of visual principles. These are repetition, symmetry, and generation of continuous patterns. Of the foliations, the dominant form of decoration employed in Sultanate buildings is the arabesque. It is characterized by a continuous stem which splits regularly, producing a series of leafy secondary stems which can in turn split again or reintegrate into the main stem. The repetition of this pattern produces a beautifully balanced design with a three-dimensional effect. Thank you.